afternoon. How are you? Guys, oh my gosh, this has been like one of the biggest weeks ever, and I have been a terrible content creator slash YouTuber because I have not filmed like all week. It's definitely been one of those weeks that's going to like absolutely propel you forward in life. There have been so many decisions to make, so many conversations to navigate, so many lessons, so many reflections, quite a bit like stress as well. I'm just going to say it, like, name the thing. It's been a bit stressful, but today has been a day of resolution. I have made some decisions, closed out some things that had been like really consuming me, and I'm now leaving to head to Edinburgh for the second part of my hair glow up, which I'm very excited about. So I'm going to take you lovely lot along with me to my appointment. And I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm doing something I have never, ever, ever in my life done before. And yeah, like hope and excitement are at an all-time high. So let's go. Back. Yes, I was just intentionally giving you a wide angle shot of my glorious new mane. Oh my gosh. So I last left you when I was going to get my hair done, my extensions. And I have to say, like, what a tremendous job Tasha has done. Yeah, just, I can't believe I've never had extensions. I think because I've always been quite lucky and gifted with my own hair. Although I've shared this before, but I've been on a real journey with my hair, because I am naturally blonde, but not as blonde as this. And when I was in my late teens into my early 20s and I wasn't taking excellent care of myself, I was getting blonder and blonder, but it was just like bleach. And because I wasn't like eating incredibly well or like nourishing myself from a place of like love, I was just so unwell, guys. I was just like not thriving, and nor was my hair. In fact, quite the opposite. It was breaking, and so anyway, I then came on a journey to like take the colour down, and I ended up very dark haired for a while. Didn't always play into my non fake tanned natural colouring like today. I'm having a very mellow day today, which is rather glorious. So yeah, I'm blown away. It's definitely taken a little bit of adjustment, and actually for those of you who are, you know, have ever thought about getting extensions, or perhaps I know loads of people get them. So a few things to share in terms of like what I've learned and, you know, advice from Tasha, etc. So one of the reasons that I had actually booked in with Tasha, well, first of all, I'm friendly with some of the people that work there, but also I done a talk for Tasha at Swathe the Space a couple of months back, and we kind of got to talking about it, and extensions specifically. But she knows me really well and she knows my lifestyle really well. And some of the other options like wefts and things like that, she's like, it's just not going to work for your lifestyle. Like, you train all the time. And even in the 2 days that I've had these, I've definitely had, it seems so silly, but I'm going to talk about it because it's real. Like, this is the reality of some of these things. So we had initially spoke about weft because I really wanted like really long, really thick looking. Like, that's what I wanted. For me, that was just what I wanted. And I have so much coming up, so many like big seismic new chapters. And also, just whilst we're talking about this, I do not want to be that person that's like, oh my god, I'm working on something really cool but I can't talk about it. Like, no one wants to be that guy. However, I need things to be just slightly I had actually, full transparency here, I had actually thought that this week's episode would be like the bomb drop episode. But life does not always run to our own timing, does it? And so that is not the episode that we are doing today. It will more than likely be the episode that comes out next week. But just to say, as soon as things are, well, they are confirmed, you know, everything is confirmed, but we just don't want, we're just, soon, I promise. And it's going to be like amazing. You guys are going to have like the best content coming your way. It's going to be sick, and we're all going to learn together and grow together and do cool new things together and find new artists and new fashion and new music and new culture and new ideas, which is a very expertly linked segue to what I'm going to talk to you about just now. But we'll talk about the hair and then we'll talk about the other thing. So there's loads of different types of extensions that you can get. Weft, I believe, is like kind of one big piece of hair that goes like in the back, and gives like loads of length, loads of fullness. However, can feel quite like blocky. And then there's tapes and there's nanobonds. Now, I clearly am not an expert. I'm actually brand new at this. But I have taken my, the professional's recommendation on board. And Tasha was like, for your lifestyle, like, I train not every day twice a day, but many days twice a day. So at least once a day, I am like working hard. I'm training hard. And my hair is always up for that. And I typically tend to wear it like in a high pony, which I can't do really with the nano bonds or with any actually. Not I can't do it, but you just need to be like kind of careful. So this was the recommendation from the look that I wanted for my lifestyle. This was where we felt it was a good place for me to start. And I'm actually really glad that I listened to Tasha's advice, because even already from a fitness point of view, so I was at Extreme Fit yesterday, and Extreme Fit is exactly as it says on the tin, like it's extreme. And so I had put it in like a low pony, again, which I don't normally do. Oh, look at me panning wide so they can see how glorious it is. I mean, it is glorious, isn't it? So I put it in a low ponytail, then I put it in a plait, and then like a bobble at the bottom. That ponytail had a life of its own. Honestly, I felt like it was like, it's become my whole new personality type, as ponytail with extensions. So, and it was kind of fine, but it was still too low. Like, I felt like my hair was just really like in my way a bit. And I was on the ski for like 6 minutes, and that thing was just like whipping me all over the place. So I was like, not sure this is the one. And then I went out on a long run today, and I managed to get my ponytail a little higher, but still trying to keep everything like covered. Like, no one really wants their hair extension bonds on show. So I managed to get it a little higher, and then same thing, plait, and then like bobble at the bottom. Genuinely thought I was going to wind myself. Like, wind, is that what it's called? Yeah.
with that ponytail like slapping off my back every stride. So then we brought it around the front, and then it was in my face. So then I tucked it in between my running jacket and my 3/4 zip. It kept falling out. Eventually, we just tucked it into the sports bra. We just tucked it under the arm of the sports bra, and that is where it will stay. I don't think it'll hold in there for a full class, so we're still playing about with it. But oh my goodness, it's so worth it. Like, it's just an adjustment, like all things. So yeah, thrilled to bits. I have so many things coming up. Can't wait to be like looking fly, feeling fly, and just living the high life. Like, it's amazing. I'm so glad that I made the investment. And it was an investment. I didn't realize like how expensive extensions are. And it's like all things, right? Like this might be controversial, but I'm normally controversial, so I'm not going to stop now. I have this saying, and it's not always true, so that was my slight hesitation when I almost said it, but like, you pay peanuts, you'll get monkeys. So I often think that price can be indicative of, well, it is. Price is often indicative of quality. And I value quality. I don't want to do things on the cheap. It always shows when you do things on the cheap. With anything, I'm looking for excellence. I'm looking for premium living. I am looking for elevation in my own style, in my home, in my relationships, in my business, and all of the things that I do. I'm not looking for cheap and cutting corners and done quickly. Like, it translates, and it's like, no. And especially when it comes to things like your hair. And equally, I'm aware, like, everybody chooses to spend their money however they choose to spend it. I don't have a wardrobe jam-packed full of Chanel. Maybe one day. I choose to invest my money in other things. I invest a lot of my money in fitness, and my body, and my mind, and all my wellness practices. Like, they are priority for me. Travel. I'm not going on holiday to stay in a hotel that's not as nice as my home. Like, I want to be having elevated experiences across every part of my life, and I'm worthy of them. And by the way, so are you. And it motivates me to work hard. So extensions are expensive in summary, but so worth it. So freaking worth it. So yeah, I feel like I'm going to be having a lot of extension chat with you all. Other things. Very nice kind of lead into, so next Sunday, 1 week today, I am hosting a session with my friend Jennifer, who is a somatic practitioner. Now, it is part of my mission in this world to keep learning more modalities, more practices, trying new things. I've just been approached to be and not been approached as if it's like a big business deal. It's not. I think it was literally just like a serve advert to be part of a user tester group for Calm, the Calm meditation app, which I'm actually currently in the middle of a new program with them, and I am loving it. So I'm part of like a user tester group to give feedback on something new that they're doing, which is exciting. But my breath work, journaling, fitness, inner dialogue, the way I dress, all of these things combined, right? These are the things that help us take life from being like good to great, or great to fucking exceptional, And that's what we're looking for. That's certainly what I'm looking for. We're here once. Let's do it to the absolute max. So I met this amazing woman, Jennifer, on the plane back from Greece when Gary and I were there at the start of the summer. And we got to talking and instantly bonded, and she was speaking to me about somatics. Now, I do not proclaim to be an expert. So what I have done is I've pulled together all I kind of knew about somatics was where therapy, obviously coaching, journaling, mindset work, meditation, breath work, it all connects more to the mind. Somatics is more about releasing trauma from the body. And so the two things combined, right, all these other practices that we do and we talk about on the regular here, combined with somatics is a game changer. Now, when I met Jennifer, she kindly invited me to one of her sessions, and ever since then, there has been like a new unlock for me in life. I can only go every other week, but I love it. I love it, and now I protect it, and I love it. Jennifer as a class, and so she's teaching us different things. So I am going to read to you a little bit about somatics and what it specifically is. So somatics is the practice of using your body as a tool for healing, regulation, and transformation. Rather than just talking about your experiences, you learn to feel and release them. We often try to think our way out of our problems. Therapy, journaling, coaching, mindset work, all are brilliant and all required, but sometimes the block isn't in the mind. Sometimes it's in the body. Stress, trauma, anxiety, self-doubt, they don't just live in our thoughts. They live in our nervous system, our posture, our breath, our gut, and our jaw. That's a big one for me. Somatics is the work, I don't know why that's made me emotional. Somatics is the work that gets underneath the thinking. There's also a couple of key concepts that have been broken down here, and I've spoke about this book before. I've actually gifted it to a few people. There's a book called The Body Keeps the Score, which is actually a concept coined by this doctor, Bessel van der Kolk. Unprocessed experiences are stored in the body, not just the brain. This is why talking alone sometimes isn't enough. Somatics works directly with the autonomic nervous system, the fight, flight, freeze, and fawn responses. When we are chronically in stress response, we cannot access our full creativity, confidence, or leadership capacity. Somatic practices help to regulate this. Benefits: more regulated emotional response, less reactivity, more capacity to respond rather than react. Oh my gosh, I could have written this. Well, clearly I couldn't have because I had to research it, but this is how I would have expressed it. Reduced anxiety and chronic stress by working with the nervous system directly rather than just the thoughts. Greater confidence and presence. When the body feels safe, you take up more space naturally. Deeper self-trust, reconnecting with the body signals, rebuilds intuition and decision-making clarity. Release of stored tension and trauma, physical patterns that have been held for years begin to soften. Better sleep, energy, and physical well-being. Nervous system regulation has whole body benefits. Breaking through the glass ceiling that mindset work alone cannot always get to. Helps you get to the root. So, all of this to say, I am hosting a session as part of Sheryl's Success Sanctuary next Sunday. It is online, so that means every single one of you watching, wherever you live in the world, can join. It is open to members and non-members. So if you are interested in coming along to that, please send me a message. I will put my email in the description below. Send me a message and I will make sure that you have the link to register. We would love to have you there. And the thing is, like, why not give it a go? We can be cameras off. I fully encourage people. I love people to have their camera on when we're doing like talking shop, but when we're doing something that feels like it's a bit more, and actually I shouldn't have said that because it's ultimately Jennifer's session, and I keep my camera on for my sessions with Jennifer because she'll sometimes give me little coaching notes as well. Normally that coaching note is do less. She does say that to me. Less movement. And she might not be talking specifically to me. There's other people there, but I know she's talking to me. See if you can do that with 10% less effort. Sheryl. And so it's just super lovely and slow. And so it's next Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. So you can do that. Then, start your wind down, your Sunday evening routine. Like have your dinner, cup of tea, chill out, read a book, have a bath, go to bed. Like it's just going to be unbelievable. It's going to be great. So I'd love to have you there. Open to everybody. Get in touch via email if you're interested, or you can DM me on Instagram at SheFindSaidSo. So yeah. So, looking to the week ahead, as I mentioned, I am having a very chillaxed Sunday. I had a long run to do this morning, and I must admit, again, in the interest of being fully open and honest here, it's taken me a couple hours to recover from it. I felt a little faint when I first, well, not when I first got back. When I first got back, I was like on the buzz that running gives me. And then we had some friends and family kind of around for a little bit. And then I had some food and a coffee. And then I had to like go and eat more because I just felt totally wiped out. But I've been training really hard this week. And I would actually say, and I look forward to talking about it like in detail when I can. But this week has probably been not one of the most traumatic weeks of my, it's not been traumatic at all, weeks of my life. But it's definitely been up there with one of the most stressful weeks of my life. Like Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I got to Wednesday evening and I had a meeting with someone who is a friend first and foremostly, but a very long-standing, amazing client. And it just lit me up. When there are people in this world who can be just as happy for you when amazing things happen in your life, hold them close. Hold them close. Because they are like sunshine. And we need that around us. It's certainly been a week of not those highs and hards, I think I would call it. But the path is cleared now. And I do have one tricky thing coming up this week ahead. I am, and this is not to cause alarm at all, it's just sensible health and wellness proactivity. I'm actually going to see my oncologist on Wednesday, the wonderful Dr. Burton, but I haven't seen him for a really long time. And I'm not going because anybody's worried about anything of note, but it has been a long time and I would welcome some renewed peace of mind is what I think I would say. I'm sure I mentioned on here that I had been feeling a little off, not really sure what it was, couldn't put my finger on it. Every 14 or 15 days I was getting absolutely exhausted. One thing for someone who has my health history, one thing he had always told me to be on the lookout was like a lot of lower back pain. And I've had a lot of lower back pain. Again, I think it's because I hurt my back when I was doing RDLs. I don't think it's anything to do with, anything else. But when you have been through something significant with your health, you're just never getting away from it. You're just not. And as much as, we can't live in our past and we can't live in our grief and we can't live in our trauma. Like, I do not do those things. I have done every practice under the sun to heal and move forward, and I have. And I am immensely proud, grateful, excited, happy, jubilant, in fact. But I'm also still going to do the most to take care of my health. And so when that doubt creeps in, which it was a month or so ago, I thought, no, we don't sit on these things and we don't wait until, it's too late. So we're just being proactive and we're going to go see him and get a little checkup. And I'm just going to see how I go. I was just about to say I know that's going to be triggering for me, but it might not be. I'll just take it as it comes. I'm not going to speak being triggered into existence. So yeah, I've got that to navigate this week. I'm also getting my aesthetics topped up for my birthday. Loads of training, loads of business, loads of great clients, loads of social media content. What else have we got? And then just continuing to make amazing progress with this big next adventure. So I'm going to wrap this episode up here. Thank you so much for watching, for being part of my life, for supporting me in all that I do. Please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. It makes a huge difference. Please make sure that you have hit the button to get notifications so that you see when new episodes drop. Currently Sunday publish, but might change. And please get in touch about anything that I've discussed or any questions that you have. I love connecting with you all. I have been creating content online for a very long time. Sometimes we lean into different platforms and channels, but ultimately it's all just still me at the end of the day. So I love it. You're amazing. Thank you for everything, for being part of this incredible life. And here's to a truly exceptional, productive, powerful, confident week ahead.